محمد كما يجب أن يصلى عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to everyone. Juma Mubarak. May Allah accept our week service, inshallah, with Juma. And may our Shaykh be happy with us, with what we are doing. We are never claiming to be anyone or to be anything. We make mistakes as humans, and we are asking that Allah forgive us because of the love that his friends have for him and the love that he has for his friends, and that we're holding on tightly to them. This is very important. If you are not having that connection, then your own connection to the mercy of Allah is very weak. And that connection may not make you to reach anywhere. That connection may be lost. People complaining and saying, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Saying, ready? Oh, there's some connection that is lost. Oh, there's some this, some that. Physically, even with all this technology, mankind saying we went to the moon, which went to the moon. You didn't even go down into the sea yet. You don't know what is under. You didn't even go to the earth yet. You don't know what is under. With all this technology, physically, we still cannot make that connection so easy. Now, how are we going to make that connection that has to do with an experience that we had? But that experience is covered by veils. That is this dunya, that Allah has put the desires to say, these are the ways to remove the veils of the desires, but mankind saying, no, this desire is more important than you and your orders. The ego putting veils, shaitan putting veils to say, I have to put veils in front to bring this one to Jahannam because this one is making me to look very bad in front of my Lord. So we had that memory of where we were before. And all these prayers and all this amal and all this ibadat and all this zikr that we are doing, it is to make us to remember, to make us to remember, to make us to feel, to make us to understand. Now, at least, if you're not understanding, everyone is feeling. What are we supposed to feel now? Not to feel the feelings of our ego, like today's people, they're saying whatever the ego feels, it is reality. No. It is what the heart is feeling. It is what the throne of Allah it is feeling, as the khutbah is saying. And what is in the heart? We have to put Allah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the heart only for him. It is not to put any other idol inside the heart. The heart, that is the Kaaba. And the physical Kaaba has been cleaned. Allahu Alam, how they have dirtied it now. But as Shaykh Naksibendi, our grand Shaykh, our peer is saying, it is better to break the Kaaba than to break someone's heart. These days, of course, they're saying, oh, Shaykh broke my heart. If your heart is filled with idols, you must break it. Whether the Shaykh breaks it or the Prophet breaks it, or Allah is going to break it, it must be broken. It must be broken for that house to be cleaned. You don't want to break it. It got cleaned sometimes and you put other things in it again. You may escape a little bit here and there for now. But believe me, nobody escapes. Because that heart, it still belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't belong to you. And it will return to Allah. Don't you see? We came from Allah and we're going to return to Him. And so now, at least you are going to feel. So many times we don't see, we don't understand, but we feel. Little kid is saying, what is Allah? Man is saying to him, Allah is there. But you can only feel Him, you cannot see Him with this. Oh, kid is saying, it's like the wind, right? So, yeah. Similar a little bit like the wind. You can feel, but you cannot see. God wind. Yeah. Even a kid is going to understand. So now you have to build up that. Let's change the word from feeling. You have to change that to what the heart is sensing, that is beyond these five senses. And what the heart is sensing that time, that is called faith. And that faith is not belief in something that you cannot see. It is a belief in something that you saw with the eye of your heart, not with these eyes. And now, if you're looking with these eyes for something that you're supposed to see with the eye of the heart, you will never see. You will never see. People making movies a little bit, other people getting very excited. They're trying to push it here, push it there, saying this is very Sufi. Star Wars is very Sufi, don't you know? The planet is called Nebu, like Nebi. Oh, Yoda is like his little green man. Very big secret there. Subhanallah. Quran is speaking, Hadith is speaking, Riwayat is speaking, whole history is speaking. You never get excited. Some idiots from Hollywood put up some movie, and suddenly everyone is taking guide from that. We have lost. We have lost that connection. Now, we think that this dirty water, because it is water, it is also going to give us some nutrition, some health. And the awliya Allah, they're giving us fresh water every day. We're not going. But this is what people are looking for these days. They're only looking for dirtiness. When there's no dirtiness, they're going to find that dirtiness. They're not going to be convinced until they find the dirtiness. So now building up that connection, making sure that that connection is strong. This is the work that we have to do, because we are sent to the lowest of the low. Imagine if you are sent to the lowest of the low. And Hassan, if I say we're going to make now broadcast now in the lowest of the low, we're going to go all the way down to bottom of the sea. Now he's going to panic. Say, how are we going to make that connection now? That Wi-Fi. We are maybe not in the bottom. We are maybe at the top. And still there is problems. No? What if you descend to the lowest of the low? Now we are in the lowest of the low. This is asfala safilin. How you think you're going to make connection by yourself? And those who say we already are connected, how are you not checking your connection all the time? Because the connection always gets broken. Because shaitan will always try to break that connection. Your ego always will try to break that connection. Fitna will always be there trying to break your connection. But like I said, people get spoiled. Little bit broken. They say, oh, you see? The Shaykh's connection is not strong. Anybody ever blame you trying to connect and saying maybe it's the server's connection or the satellite's connection that is bad? Never. Nobody really questions that. It's each other now we have to try to fix. So something happens. Definitely you must be tested. Your faith, now you have faith. You have faith to that one. It must be tested. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not show you. We said so many times, Allah is not going to test. This is not test yet. He's showing you where the weakness is. Allah showing us where our weakness is not the same as testing us. Where is your weakness? Allah is going to show. Because you want to make this connection now. You want to have live streaming. You want to have that connection. Now you must know, in this area it is strong, in this area it is weak. With this instrument it is strong, with this instrument this is weak. Right area, right machines, everything is perfect, but you don't have the what? Password. You don't have that, nothing is going to work. You try so hard, nothing is good because you don't have the right password. You know, the password may change. Correct? It changes. You made that connection with the Shaykh now. You're checking it. When it is tested, what is going through your heart? When the weakness is shown to you, and this is the place where our weakness will be shown to us, as I began the Sohbat saying, may Allah forgive our weaknesses. When man must know that he is weak, and he must fix himself with that weakness. And if he's complaining and blaming everyone, and Shaitan is tricking him and say, no, it is not your fault, you know. It's this one's fault, this one's fault, this one's fault, everyone's fault, but it is not your fault. You are blameless, you did so much. Oof. Now that time, you may lose your connection completely. You're losing the connection. It's okay. But when that one turns you off, there is a big problem there. May Allah not turn us off. May our Shaykh never turn us off. We admit our weakness, and we're being very straight now. Because we are in the mountains, the Catskill Mountains. Mountain people, we're very straight. We say, you have to be straight first with yourself. Straight, not later, making some turn, now going straight again, then going straight. Yeah, I'm straight, then making a turn, going straight. That's not being straight. We cannot allow that to happen. May Allah protect us from that. But definitely our ego is going to trick us. Definitely the Shaitan will trick us. What we say 1,000 times. Up in the mountains, there are wolves. Air is very clean. It is away from everything. But there is also danger there. Meaning the higher you go, there's going to be more danger there. There are wolves. And the sheep that is in the flock, with the shepherd and with the guard dogs, even if it is the weakest sheep, 1,000 times we're saying it, no. Nothing is going to happen because it's under that protection. Once the sheep says, I don't want to be, I prefer to be outside. You can, definitely. But even the strongest sheep that time, when he comes out, it's very easy for the weakest wolf to get him. That connection is very important. And that connection physically, it is very important. In these days, it is very important. And closer that you are to the friends of Allah, closer that you are in that physical proximity, more you have to be careful, because Shaitan will use so many tricks. Because some, they reach and they say, I'm okay now. Some, they reach, they become close, and then they start to say, oh, it's just, everything is just normal. It's nothing special. They lose that respect too. Some, they reach and then they say, well, this is it. I get bored. Shaykh Efendi will only show what he wants you to see. He will only show. No, he doesn't show what you want to see. He only shows what he wants to show. This is the danger everywhere. As Ibn Salama says, what? Muhammad now wants bribery. What tricked him? Hubub dunya. What tricked him? When he believes that it is with his hard work that everything was given. But he was the one who was begging the Prophet ﷺ to open his hand, to open everything. But now you understand the connection was never there in the first place. If you're not getting rid of you're not understanding what your real initial beginning weaknesses and diseases are, you're not understanding, you're still hiding, it's showing to you, you're still running away from it, it's going to bite back. It's going to call you, say, hey, bite me. It's going to say. It's going to bite back. But you are being weak in understanding and asking for help, it'll start changing. And you're opening and you're listening, it'll start changing. You don't, especially people coming in and thinking they have special connection, or they have special visions, or they're special this and special that. You know, special people who come. Shaykh saying, oh, mashallah, mashallah, very good, very good, very good. You're not changing, you're not responding to the treatment. And then that virus is going to get 10 times stronger later if you don't hold on and you don't respond to the treatment. We are not here to be special. We are here to understand our weakness as servants and to fight against it and to return to Allah clean. And then in that process, we're going to remember a little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. We're going to feel a little bit more, little bit more, little bit more what this faith is. What this faith is. That time is not just going to be words that we're saying. Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wa yawmi akhiri. Qadr, we're not just going to say. In tariqat, you have to start experiencing this. What is qadr to you? What is it meaning to you today? What is the meaning of the book of Allah? What is the meaning of Allah? What is the meaning of the angels? What is that? All that meaning, you have to go through it. You're not working. You're in tariqat. You're not working. You lost everything. It doesn't matter that time you're going to be sitting right next to the Shaykh. You lost everything because you're not working. The one who is working, finding, struggling, he can be very far away from the Shaykh. He will find. Because that one is looking for it. Allah is Karim. Whatever you're looking for, you will find. So look. Look for Allah. Look for the pleasure of Allah. Don't trust yourselves too much. We are all under training. Don't trust yourself too much. Trust in your guide. Don't trust in your voices in your head too much. Trust in the physical voice first of your Shaykh. Don't trust in your complaining. Don't trust in your imagining negative things of other people around you. Don't trust that too much. I understand you've gone through certain things. It is difficult. But if you trust your guide, then that time those voices will become softer and the blessing of Allah will become stronger and you start to see clearer. Your heart will start to be stronger and you start to have more faith. One of the definitions of faith, awliya Allah, they are saying, you know what it is? You know a person has faith when he is kind and he's easygoing and he's happy. Not when he's complaining, thinking everyone is against him and never forgetting wrong things people have done. No. It is not. We have sayings, wise sayings from different cultures. That the other time we were walking and we saw one leaf, you remember? And then the water is touching it, but the water is not staying. It's like that leaf is like plastic. And that is a leaf that is growing from the water too. And like lotus kind of plant. They say things happen to you, bad things is happening to you. People do things to you like that. Make it like the water on that leaf. Let it just glide. It's not sticking, it's not wetting anything. The sign of the faith. Happy, easygoing, and they're kind to people. To people. Not kind and easygoing and happy with yourself. Or with the enemies of Haqq. Or seeing evil that is happening in the world and you are so happy, you're jumping up and down. No. With those things, we have to be very sad, we have to be very unhappy. Inshallah. If you like, listen. If you like, take. You don't like, leave it. These days we cannot say too much too. If we say too much, then people start complaining. Say too much, people say, you're making me feel very negative. You say too much, people say, you're making me to be very anxious. Then later I have to go to doctor. Then later I have to take medicine. So, Ya Allah, make it easy. We're coming to those days where, as the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, they're not going to listen to you. He's saying to the Sahabis, there will come a time. He says, your wives are not going to listen to you. They were shocked. These days, if we say this hadith, they're going to say Prophet was hating women. Astaghfirullah. Or these days they're saying women must not listen to the husband. Saying complete opposite. They say worse is going to come. Ya Rasulullah, they're saying, is there any more worse that's going to be that your wife is not going to listen to you? He says, yes. Your children will not listen to you. They were more shocked. You remember this hadith? Shaykh Efendi used to say it all the time. Hadith continuing. Continuing. And we are living those days. Nobody is going to listen too much. It's going to get smaller and smaller. The weeding process is happening. Only the very strong, they're going to stand. I don't like this life. Tariqat is so tough and it's so complicated. My life was so easy before. Bruh, who are you fooling? Who are you fooling? You want to go back to that life? You're welcome. Welcome to those who come, farewell to those who leave. Go. You will understand. That time you will remember. May Allah forgive me. May Allah bless you. May Allah make us to wake up. May Allah make us to have more intelligence. May Allah not let the ego and our shaitan to trick us. May Allah make us always to stand in the side of the awliya Allah, never to stand in front of them. Because our Shaykh has said, you stand in front of me. I don't care who you are. You can be my mother, you can be my son, you can be my wives. Specifically, he mentioned family so many times. He said, I will crush you. May we not stand in front of our Shaykh. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.